All right, so today we're at Cape Henlopen State Park in Lewes, Delaware. We're exploring the Fort Miles area. We're gonna go check out the nature center. So today we've got my niece and my nephew along with us today, and my brother-in-law and my husband and I, and we're gonna explore Cape Henlopen State Park. Then at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you some clips from some of my older videos so you can get a sense of all the amazing things Cape Henlopen State Park has to offer. So Fort Miles was a critical component of the United States coastal defense system during World War II. It was constructed to protect the Delaware Bay and the river, which was kind of a major shipping channel that led to like Philadelphia, Wilmington, Camden, New Jersey. Fort Miles was officially commissioned in 1941, shortly before the U.S. entered World War II. So here at Fort Miles, you can find Battery 519, which is this massive concrete gun emplacement. You can see fire control towers. There's underground bunkers. They had early radar systems here, and they used a lot of camouflage and deception. The fort was disguised with sand and vegetation and fake buildings to blend in the natural landscape and avoid detection. So if you've never been to the Fort Miles section of Cape Henlopen State Park before, you're really going to like it. It has a number of paved paths, so you're going to be able to bike through here or walk or wheel a stroller like we're doing for my niece. There's a bunch of different artillery and relics from when this was the military base. There's buildings, there are bathrooms here, there's some really nice picnic areas, and then of course there's the Fort Miles Museum that you can tour during certain times. There's a number of history programs offered by the state park and just a lot of signage. So, we've got kids with us today. They don't want to stay in one place for a long amount of time, but if you're really a history buff, you can really read these signs and really take in a lot of information. So one of the displays about these shells was really interesting. You can see what it did to the wall, and then also the sign is really cool to show you the weight. Sometimes you see the weight of something and you can't really comprehend it. When the sign is showing you it weighs as much as a hippopotamus or it weighs as much as a vehicle, it really helps make the point clear. There really is so much to learn here, and they've got great signs up explaining what each thing is and what it did. And depending on the day and time you visit, there's a Fort Miles museum, and you can go in there and tour more of a museum-like setting. We've got little ones with us today, and my niece in the stroller, so we're going to opt to skip that. So as you finish up the tour of Fort Miles, be sure to walk a little bit ahead on the bike path. There's an amazing overlook where you can stand and enjoy the view. This is the Army Control Fire Tower number 7 in Cape Henlopen State Park, and we're going to climb up it. It has the best view in the entire park. So if you want to climb tower number 7, this is basically a restored fire control tower structure. So they've restored this and that it has a spiral staircase with safety handrails. It almost reminds me of climbing a lighthouse. You've got that kind of like spiral design. So this is about 4 to 5 stories tall. It's about 166 steps, and it's really a really neat thing to climb. When you get on certain levels, you're going to have some windows that you're going to be able to look out, and this is the absolute best view in the park. If you're really interested in this type of stuff and you want to climb another tower, there's also another restored tower that's open for climbing, and that one is in the Delaware Seashore State Park, which is maybe about 20-25 minutes away from Cape Henlopen, and you can climb that one at the Tower Beach area. If you're not a fan of heights, you're probably going to feel okay here because there's a pretty wide walkway around. It's got fencing, it's got railings. You feel pretty safe and secure up here, and you can just enjoy the view. So after climbing the tower, we took my niece and nephew over to the Seaside Nature Center. It's completely free to get in here as long as you've paid admission to the park. There's a touch tank. This was a big hit with the kids. You can reach in and touch horseshoe crabs and hermit crabs and all kinds of local stuff. They have a number of animals on display, some turtles and snakes. To me, the highlight of this place is the amazing fish tanks they have. They have this wall of 3 or 4 different fish tanks, and you can see flounder and everything else swimming, and it's super relaxing and beautiful. And if you've got little kids, they're going to absolutely love it here. So after we were done with the Seaside Nature Center, that was pretty much it for our day with my little niece and nephew at the park. But I'm going to continue this video and show you some old clips. Now, keep in mind, the old clips had my old camera, which was before I got a GoPro, and it's not super clear or great footage, but it will give you an idea of what else you can do if you come to Cape Henlopen State Park. So this is Herring Point. This is an amazing area to look down at this beautiful beach. There's a pretty dramatic dune here, and then if you want to, you can actually climb down and go to the beach here. And then further down on the right, if you have the surf fishing permit, you can actually drive on the beach with your vehicle and do that as well in this area. But it's just gorgeous here. Another really great thing to do is go to the fishing pier. This fishing pier is huge. There's plenty of room for everybody. It's great for kids because you can space out. And there's a bait and tackle store right at the end of the pier and bathroom. So you kind of have everything you need. Another really cool place to visit is the Point. Now, depending on what time of year you come here, it may be closed. We also absolutely love the Pinelands Nature Trail. You can start this right from the Fort Miles area. It's a beautiful shaded pine forest trail, just gorgeous. Be sure to bring your bug spray if you hike here, but it is a beautiful trail, especially in the summertime. If you're looking for another hiking option, you can also hike the Seaside Nature Trail. Be warned that even though this is a short trail and it's family friendly, you are going to hike over sand at some points. My last tip is to stop by the bike barn. You can borrow a bike for completely free here and ride through the park. They have bikes for kids, they have bikes for adults, they have all sizes. The volunteers are wonderful, and this is a great way to see the park. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing our day in Cape Henlopen State Park with our niece and nephew, and then getting some ideas for other things you can do in the park. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.